Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at all Helping Parents Heal meetings is voluntary. All discussions that take place at affiliate-led meetings are confidential. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you could join us this evening. Elizabeth, you're muted.
Thank you. So I'm grateful that all of you could join us, and I'm especially grateful to have Mark Anthony here. He is so talented, but he's also so highly educated, and it's really exciting to be able to have these readings done by someone like him. Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer, aka the Psychic Lawyer, is a fourth-generation psychic medium who communicates with spirits. He is an Oxford-educated attorney who has tried over 100 jury trials and is licensed to practice law in Florida, Washington, D.C., and before the United States Supreme Court. Mark Anthony is known as the Psychic Explorer due to his extensive background in science, quantum physics, survival of consciousness, near-death experiences, history, archaeology, philosophy, and theology. He examines mystical locations in the U.S. and remote corners of the world to explore ancient ruins, mysteries, and supernatural phenomena. Mark appears nationwide on TV and radio. He is the co-host of Psychic in the Dock on Transformation Talk Radio that you can also join with him. He is a columnist for Best Holistic Life magazine. His latest book is The Afterlife Frequency, which is an incredible book. His other best-selling books are Never Letting Go and Evidence of Eternity. Mark Anthony is a featured speaker at Afterlife and paranormal conferences and universities, including Brown, Columbia, Harvard, and Yale, as well as here at Helping Parents Heal, where he and his manager, Rocky, are beloved providers of our parents and family. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mark Anthony. I'm going to quickly just copy the link to his website and then paste it in the chat box. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, Irene. And I want to especially thank all the Shining Light parents who are here tonight. I realize that this time of year, every time of year is difficult when you've lost a child, but the holidays are especially difficult, and that's why I asked to be able to do this Spirit of the Holidays session. I want to do a brief orientation before I start connecting. Everything I do is about frequency, and when I open up to higher frequencies, spirits are going to come in. Now, obviously, they're all going to be connected to you in various ways. Think of your soul as a drop of water. And so when we die, that drop of water, which is housed in our brain, Okay, that's our soul, because the brain did not create your consciousness, which is your soul. It merely hosts it the way your computer hard drive does. So when we physically die, that drop of water plunges into the eternal sea of souls that I call the collective consciousness. Well, you're going to have more than just one or two drops showing up. And with this amount of people, we're going to have an Olympic-sized swimming pool coming through. And one of the concepts that I've developed in my book and in my lectures is collective consciousness communication. And what that means is that spirits with a commonality will come in together. And the commonality is not just between them, but between the people here. Let me explain. I was doing a session in Florida a couple years back, and it was in front of about 100 people, and I kept hearing the word or the name Paisley. And I said, does Paisley make sense? 3 hands go up. First lady stands up and said, I was at the mall today and I was walking by Macy's and suddenly I felt I needed to buy a Paisley skirt. Okay. And then a gentleman said, my dad passed recently and I was going through his things yesterday, and for some reason, I wanted his Paisley tie. And the third person, she said, well, my grandmother's name was Paisley and we were really close. Boom. All the spirits connected to the Paisleys come through. But then the spirits started talking about pancreatic and thyroid issues. Guess what? Each one of those 3 people had either a pancreatic, thyroid, and one of them had both. So the commonality of Paisley applied to the spirits, and then the medical condition applied to the recipients. Does that make sense with everybody? Okay, super. Now, it gets even better. About 3 months ago on my live stream show, The Psychic and the Doc, and you can all tune in, go to my website, afterlifefrequency.com. We had a caller, and the caller said, that Paisley example you give? And I said, yeah. She said, I was in the audience that night and I didn't raise my hand. My son died in Paisley, Florida. Okay. This is very important. If something makes sense to you, raise your hand. So when a spirit connects with me, first, I'll start describing him or her. And if it makes sense to you, raise your hand. And Elizabeth is a master at locating all the people raising their hands here on Zoom. And even if it applies to more than one of you, because once again, there's going to be a commonality between the spirits. And please don't do I knew it was for me, but I didn't raise my hand, because you can miss a very important message. And that woman missed her son coming through, but I did get him on The Psychic and the Doc. But still, there would have been an important message. So when a spirit connects with me, first I'll get his or her gender, then I'll get an idea of their connection to you. I know that everybody here is a shining light parent and wants to talk to their child. However, other people that you know may come through first. And sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to talk to her. And it's like, well, I get that. But, we have to honor the spirits that are coming through. I'm going to feel how people passed. This can be very upsetting. I understand that. Different causes of death may have a similar physical sensation to me. If I say I'm getting an impact to my head, that could be head trauma, stroke, aneurysm, or a quick passing because I get a jolt. Burning sensations usually means cancer, although they could have been burned in some way, or it could be neurological. With names, I may get something close to the name. Cindy could be Sandy, Wendy could be Penny, Danny could be Donnie. Recently, I was doing a reading for this woman, and she was Hispanic, and her father came through, and I kept hearing Ernie or Ernesto. And she paused and said, oh my gosh, his name was Nestor. Look, if I'm getting Ernesto and the name is Nestor, close enough, okay? Because some people are like, I'm hearing Willie. Oh no, his name was Billy. Please don't do that, okay? Now, if I hear Nestor and his name was McGillicuddy, well, then obviously that's not it. All right. Let me tell you, if I go through every variation, it would take us a long time, but it's very important to avoid the no syndrome. A lot of times when I narrow it down to one person, they'll be presenting information to me and I'll be describing it to you. I'm going to see things, hear things, feel things, and know things. The questions I'll be asking you a lot are going to be, do you recognize this? Or does that make sense? Some people get on the no train. No, 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 no. When you start doing that energetically, it's like you're slamming the door in their face. They back off. It's better to say, I'm not sure. Let me think about it, or I don't know just yet, because energetically, that keeps the door open. Also, messages are not always readily apparent. I was doing a reading for this woman, and her mother spirit came through and said, take your nephew to the eye doctor. And she's talking about the 7-year-old boy. And my client said, okay, I have a 7-year-old nephew, and he's been complaining about headaches. And I said, now your mother's giving me the song Tutti Frutti All Rudy by Little Richard. And she said, well, that doesn't make sense at all. I know who Little Richard was, but that doesn't make sense. But she was really good. Instead of overthinking it and hyperanalyzing it, which is another form of no, no, no. Well, what does that mean? Why would you bring up the... Just jot it down. We move on. 2 weeks later, she contacted me. Mark, I called my sister. She said, yes, let's get my little boy into the eye doctor. And so she said, I went with my sister and my nephew. And as soon as we walked into the doctor's office, on the radio, it started playing Tutti Frutti All Rudy by Little Richard. Okay. Spirits can see future events. That was her mother's way of saying, hey, you're in the right place at the right time. Who in the world would have figured that one out until it actually happened? Spirits have the capability of seeing future events. I explain how that happens and why that is scientifically possible in the afterlife frequency. Okay, last but not least, if I ask you a question, please just answer the question. Kindly avoid the New Testament length answer. I was doing this session for this lady, and she was so sweet. It was a phone reading, and I could tell she was in her 80s because of the expression she used. Everything was, oh, gracious me, oh, my, oh, my. I mean, you can almost smell the cookies baking in the background. That's, how nice this lady was. And this male relative of hers comes through, and I said, pilot. Does pilot make sense? Oh, yes, he was a pilot. His name is Gary, and he lived in Michigan, and he had this weird thing with his finger, and he died from cancer. And Mark, he was the personal pilot for President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Whoa. A simple, yes, he was a pilot was what I needed. So if inadvertently you start going on and on about something, and I say Dwight D. Eisenhower, that means rein it in. Okay. Let me start with the prayer to raise frequency, and then we begin. Oh God, make us an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. And where there's sadness, joy. O divine God, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we're pardoned, and it is in dying that we're born to eternal life. Amen. Wow, I'm picking up on a lot of spirits, but when I was praying, the spirit of a young lady, a girl, and I'm figuring she looks like she could have been around between 10 to 12. I think closer to 12, right around 12 years old. Darker, she was brunette. Her hair came down to about her shoulders. She wasn't real fair complected, but not real dark complected. So she had a medium, Caucasian type complexion, and she's pointing to her throat, and I'm getting a choking sensation. And the choking sensation, I just keeps repeating and repeating. So there was something going on with her that precipitated her passing, which was a choking inability to swallow. Let me see if she's giving me more on this. This hit her really right out of the blue. Does this make sense with anyone?
If you could just let us know in the chat box, that's a little easier than if you raise your hands. Okay, so Stephanie is saying, my niece hung herself. Yes, I can take it. So is your niece between 10 and 12, Stephanie? Could you just let us know really quickly?
Yeah, because she looks like just on the edge of being a teen. She's 13. All right, that'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let Stephanie speak.
Yes, I have
Okay.
asked,
Hold on, where's Stephanie?
I've asked her to unmute.
Need to say something, Stephanie, so I can.
Hi, Stephanie.
Oh, there you are, Stephanie. Yeah, it's always interesting doing this because it's like, oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah. Gosh, did your niece kind of resemble you in a way?
Yes, it was my twin sister's daughter.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to say yes because when you came on, it's like, wow. Yes. Okay. So this is definitely your niece, and is there anyone connected to you or her? Now, it may not be her name. It could be somebody else connected to you or someone close to either of you with a name like Isabel. Isabel, or Isabel could be like Elizabeth, and I know we have Elizabeth as our moderator, but I'm getting an Isabel or an Isabella. Does that name make sense to you in any way? And it's important that when a piece of information comes in, it isn't always about the spirit. You're nodding yes. In what way?
Somebody in the living here. Yes.
That'll work. That'll work. Okay. Hold on. What I'm getting from this young lady is you have to realize, even though she may have been in this world chronologically aged 13, as a spirit, she's a mature and sophisticated, immortal living being. And she's explaining to me that her whole life, from the time like she was a child, she was plagued with depression. I realize that people who resort to suicide, people who die by suicide, are depressed. I mean, I know that goes without saying, but she's making it a point to explain the depression. And she said that everything in her life, the expression I would say is, on paper, everything in her life was great. There was no reason to have prompted this girl to have taken the route of suicide. But she wants you to understand that when she was in this world, she believed she had no choice. And she has reached out to your sister, her mother, many times. And I think that your sister picks up on her presence. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, now I'm laughing here because she's switching tracks and she's peeling. It could be a navel orange or a tangerine. And I know a lot of people like, all right, you're laughing. What is up with it's not juicing an orange, it's peeling it and eating it. Go ahead.
So it's a holiday tradition in my family. We take oranges and we put the cloves in them.
Yes.
And my husband the other day, we had two bowls going, one bowl that we could eat and one bowl for the Christmas decoration. Well, my husband didn't know, and he grabbed the one with the cloves in it and ate it. And I have been laughing about that for the past couple of days.
Perfect. Now that is a prime example of her letting you know that she is around you and aware of what's happening in your life.
That's
now,
great.
Did you lose a child as well?
I
Because
had miscarriage.
Okay, was it a male?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Because there's a male spirit associated with you on the child level coming in with her. Okay. And first off, to everybody, please accept my deepest sympathy, and also realize when I get going, I tend to be given evidence and I sound clinical at times. I am very sympathetic to what everyone's going through. I just want it because I get it real fast and I want to tell you what I'm getting. He's explaining to me this seems around fourth, fifth week. Was it around fourth, fifth week? He's talking fourth, fifth week.
I think it was more like 8 weeks.
8 weeks. He's talking fourth, fifth week. I'm wondering if whatever was going on that resulted in the miscarriage started around the fourth, fifth week is what I'm getting. And gosh, I feel like the skull, and I realize that a fetus is not well formed and that a baby skull takes time, but I'm getting almost like the skull like being very diffuse. Do you have any knowledge of whether there was an issue with the baby's head? And I know that's yeah. Well, he is letting you know that there was, I want to use the word delamination, and I don't know if that's the right word, but basically it's almost like the head was beginning to dissolve. And I know that's very, very macabre and intense to hear, but he said, I want you to worry not about this. He said, I was not supposed to come in at that time. All right. And he is around you quite a lot with your niece. And I mean, obviously they're bringing up the orange and the thing with your husband eating it. And they just put in front of me a red coffee can. Like that French market coffee. Do you know what I'm talking about? The French market coffee. Is it who drinks the really strong coffee? Hold on. There's more to this. When I get that French market coffee, the French market's in New Orleans, and that could mean either you, your sister, or someone close to you has visited or have some connection to New Orleans or Louisiana. It can also be something with a name like Louis or Louise. Is there anything there?
Our grandmother's Jean Louise.
Is she planet Earth or in spirit?
She's still here.
She's still here. Was she kind of wild and crazy back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because ask your grandmother if she ever used a pogo stick. I mean, seriously, that's
she
what.
has. Yes, she has.
Okay. Yeah, because these spirits are like they're showing her on a pogo stick, and they said she could probably still do it, but they don't want her breaking a hip. Okay,
that's her.
That's her. So on behalf of your son and your niece, they're coming through to let you know that even though they're on the other side, they're still a potent force in your life. And your niece wants you also to know that she is free of the depression. She is free of the depression. And this is interesting because the depression appears to be a genetic condition, but one that skips a couple generations. And it feels like it was flowing through her from her father's side of the family. Do you have any, does that make sense?
Exactly. Yes, that's
okay. Yes. So she is explaining, do you have another child?
I have two here.
Two here. Do you have a girl?
Yes.
Okay. She's not depressed.
Not at all.
Yeah, they said she's not depressed. And is you have the girl and a boy?
Yes.
Okay. Boy's a trip, isn't he? He's like a real handful. Don't worry, he's not depressed either, but he's brilliant. He's brilliant, and I'm laughing because not that I was ever like this, but he's one of those kids that if you don't understand something that he knows, he will say something that kind of insults people's intelligence, and he doesn't even realize he's doing it yet. Okay. So they're telling you, just have patience, just have patience. These kids are going to have a long and happy life, and that's what they want you to know.
That's great.
And I'll leave that with you. Oh, and tell your sister, she likes the candle in the window. What's up with the candle in the window?
I'm not sure. I'll ask.
Yeah, there's something, your sister may be putting a candle near the window, or there was something about a candle in the window. So they're acknowledging that.
I know she just decorated her room for Christmas. So
okay, so there's all right. So I'll leave that with you. Thank you so much, Stephanie. God bless you.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, that was amazing. Oh my goodness gracious.
How cool about the orange?
Yes.
I think the pogo stick was my favorite part. Okay, hold on. I'm getting a male spirit coming through, and darker complexion, and I'm trying to get a fix on his age. He looks like he had a few extra pounds on him. Like he may have had like a bit of a bigger stomach, kind of a more of a heavy set child. Ow, good Lord, my back is killing me. This poor kid, he had a lot of problems with his spine and his back. And I'm getting a metallic taste in my mouth. Fascinating. Metallic taste can indicate a couple different things. It could be seizures or convulsions prior to passing. And the reason I say that is when I was 4, I went into these terrible convulsions. And when I came out of it, I had a metallic taste. Okay. A metallic taste can also indicate medications. Sometimes it means gunshot. Okay. Somebody popped up, they said it could be her son, but was not overweight. That could indicate he may have been having, with the stomach, he could have been having digestion issues. Okay. Let me work a little bit more with him. Yeah, I get that his health status was not good. He was sick, and it took some time for him to pass. And it seemed like for a while it looked like he was going to rally, but then his health condition went down. Okay. Is that okay, Maggie? Hold on. Let's bring Maggie up.
Sure.
And Maggie, please, I know you said he loved heavy metal music, but that's like the Dwight D. Eisenhower thing. Wait till I get you up here. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm not scolding, I'm explaining for everybody. If I ask you a question, please just answer the question. But the heavy metal could make a lot of sense here. So where's Maggie?
I've asked her to unmute. Hi, Maggie.
Can you say hi for us?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Okay, hi.
Okay, I can't see her though. Now I can. Hey, Maggie. Okay. Now, your interpretation's more important than mine, and the heavy metal music is interesting. But see, I'm getting that. How old was he? Because I'm getting kind of younger, like below 20.
He was 36.
No, this is not him.
That's
This is not him. All right, hold on. Hold that thought. All right, my son was overweight, and wait, somebody was just there that this could be him, because this spirit he was overweight and he was younger.
Okay.
He could have been around 10 or so. Who's the person we just had that said that?
Jennifer Chino.
Had internal bleeding, and yes, I want to go with that one. Maggie, we may get to your son, so don't worry, but I want to go with Jennifer.
Okay, I've asked her to unmute. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
And I want to thank Maggie for speaking up. I'd rather have an active audience than an inactive one. Okay, where's Jennifer?
I'm here.
Well, I know. Keep
I
talking.
know
my
my camera isn't coming on for some reason.
All right, don't worry. I do call-in shows all the time. Okay, so to recap, your son was overweight. He had back pain, a lot of problems. How old was he?
26.
Getting a little boy, and by dark skin, he could have been African American, African American or Latino. Yeah, I mean, obviously, is there anyone here that would match that description?
So thanks, Jennifer. Let's see if we can find someone whose son, let's see.
Yeah, because to me, he looks like he could be African American or could be Latino, because he's got a darker complexion. He was heavy set, a lot of back pain. Yeah, this poor kid was in a lot of pain.
Okay, so Wilma, I guess someone was saying Wilma, but then Wilma said not darker complexion. So
Hold on. Let's see what this spirit would like. Yeah, he is connected to somebody here. Now, he may not be one of your children. He could be the child of someone that you know, because that happens a lot. Spirits will come in. And so let's thank him and ask him to step aside. And now I'm getting a female energy coming through. She looks like she was in her 20s. She had super high energy, and her passing was in a flash. And I'm feeling blunt force trauma to my head. This feels traumatic. This very well could be an automotive accident. It could be some type of trauma, but she was real thin, pretty girl. Does that make sense with anyone? Okay, somebody said yes.
Yeah, a few girls. There's a few.
Yeah, and some people are saying not a girl. I'm never wrong on the gender. Okay,
so
so if I say it's a girl, it's a girl. Okay,
it might
so
be Mara. I think Mara private message to me. It looks like it's probably her daughter. She was 19 years old, but she's private messaging me. I think that all
right,
of this-
right. I said it could be an automotive accident. It felt like it was traumatic. So let's go with that one.
Okay, but let's see. As I say, Mara Navarrete is saying she can take it. Her
Okay.
daughter. Let's see. Maybe we could try with Mara first, and then move on to everyone else. So,
I've asked her to unmute.
okay, wonderful.
Hi, Mara.
Hi.
Let's
Hi,
see.
I'm here with my husband and my stepdaughter, Nicole.
Hi.
Hey, Mara. So your daughter matches that description. Okay.
She does.
Real high energy, great
Mhm.
personality, real perky. And now I realize every mom thinks that their child has the most beautiful eyes in the world, but she had very interesting eyes. She's making it, but there was something unusual or different about her eyes. Does that make sense? And it's almost, I don't want to say that they were two different color, but they may have been close in color, but a little bit each different. Does that make any sense to you?
They're, yes, they're beautiful. And they're like hazel brown.
Okay, let's go with
And
that.
her eyes were always done up beautifully. Eyelashes, just gorgeous.
Okay, perfect. Now she's showing me 4 diamonds. Let me go through this before you respond. Diamonds are the birthstone for the month of April, and 4 is interesting because that's the 4th month, and so that could indicate a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event connected you or her or someone close to either of you within April. You're nodding yes. In what way?
She was born April 3rd and the accident was April 28th.
Okay, so we got 2 major events, and we said the accident. What type of accident?
Car accident.
Car accident, yeah. Because remember, I said it felt like automotive, and I always have to be careful. I don't like to jump to conclusions. All right. She said she almost didn't go. She almost didn't go. She almost didn't go. Was there like the night or the day of the accident, the night of the accident, she almost didn't go?
Yes.
You know. Okay.
Yes. It was, yeah, it was a school function and someone was supposed to drive her.
Got it. Yes, she said she almost didn't go. This is always very difficult when a spirit tells me this, particularly with a child. She said, but the hand of fate, the hand of fate. And nobody ever wants to hear that that was the time that someone was supposed to pass, but that's what she's telling me. Okay. And she's showing me a clock face, and it's got the number 12 on it, but in Roman numerals. Do you have any type of clocks in your house with Roman numerals on it? Or does the number 12 make sense to you in any way? Now, obviously, we're in December, which is the 12th month. This could be the 12th of any other month or significance to the number 12.
Not that we know of.
Hold on. If I say 12, what immediately comes to mind for you? Don't worry about how it applies to your daughter. Remember, when a piece of information comes in, it isn't always about the spirit. It could be about you or somebody else close to you.
I was thinking about a jersey number. So it might have been one of her jersey numbers for sports.
Yeah, but it is the Roman number 12, which is like an XII. So I want you to think about that. You don't have like a cuckoo clock or a grandfather clock or anything like that?
Wow.
That's okay. This could be one of those tutti frutti all Rudy things that may make sense. I mean, you may be somewhere tomorrow and there's a clock tower. This could also be a time that maybe when she passed around noon. Okay, so you just keep that in mind. Now let's see what she wants you to know. She goes, enough with the feathers. Enough with the feathers. What is up with all? Are you guys like, there's a feather, that's her, there's
Every
a feather,
feather.
that's her.
Every
She
feather.
said, enough with the feathers, Mom. She said, I am around you. So I didn't mean to laugh. And now she's talking about the buttons, and the buttons. Now we all use buttons. Is there like, do you collect buttons or have a button box or something about buttons?
Sewing kit, grandma's sewing
Yeah,
kit.
grandma's sewing kit, but
Hold on, before we know it into oblivion, what do you mean by grandma's sewing kit?
She had that.
yeah, there was a big sewing kit that her grandma gave her that was full of buttons and sewing stuff. And she was always whenever we needed a button, she would always go into there to get a button for us.
Okay, that's a verifiable fact following a message. Let me explain what I mean by that. When a spirit gives us a message of an explanatory or advisory nature, enough with the feathers, Mom, enough with the feathers. And she got you both to laugh, okay, which I love when spirits come in and they use some humor. All right. So yes, she's around you. Yes, you got the message loud and clear with the feathers, but every feather you find isn't necessarily a message from her. That's what she's saying. But then when the spirit immediately follows that up with an objectively verifiable fact, the buttons, the box of buttons, her grandmother gave her this box of buttons that she really liked. The verifiable fact of buttons is how the spirit is letting you and I know that we have properly received and interpreted the message before that. So for everybody, anytime I say verifiable fact following a message, we know we got it, okay? And now she's giving me a whole basket full of tomatoes. All right, I'm Italian. I like tomatoes. What is up with tomatoes?
Oh,
There's tomatoes, tomatoes, and
so many
tomatoes.
tomatoes. Well, John, you tell.
We our daughter Nicole and myself, we planted a whole garden this summer, full of tomatoes, every kind of tomato you could think of. And we just picked them and we have a whole basket in the kitchen. And obviously there's no more because of the winter, but it was a hell of a summer.
Yeah, perfect. So you have this whole basket of tomatoes. You and your daughter were planting tomatoes. So this is her way of letting you know that she's around you and aware of what is happening in your life. Okay. Now this is very interesting. Have the two of you, all right, the reason I'm asking you this, she's showing me the dream state. And have the two of you each had a dream about her that was kind of similar? She's talking about the two of you having like a very similar type of dream involving her or connection with her.
We've been having dream visits.
Okay.
I wish I could, I don't know. I think they were somewhat different.
Yeah. I dream of her giving me a big hug. So that was
Okay. And Mara,
Does
she ever hug you?
No.
Hold on. This is a complex message. All right. And I don't want you guys to see overthinking things is another form of the no syndrome. And a lot of my clients are very intelligent people. And the problem with those of us who are intelligent people is we tend to overthink everything. And I'm a lawyer. I know all about overthinking. The complex message here is the two of you, a similar type of dream. Now, you both have been having dreams where she's reaching out to you, but that doesn't mean that what she's talking about has happened just yet. And now here's what you don't need to do. Every night, I'm going to have a dream just like, each other. Don't do that, because the I want is another form of no, because it creates that angst and block. Just start keeping track of the dreams that you have of her, okay? And I believe that she is going to give each of you a dream that's going to be somewhat similar. Maybe she'll hug you, or maybe you'll be sitting like, and she's showing me like this white wrought iron, like the type of table and chairs you'd see in a garden, that white wrought iron sitting there talking to her. And there's a lot of red roses in the background. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
All right. How does that make sense?
That's her flower. It's all about red roses. That's her thing.
Okay, so you see, she's showing me this, and she's showing the white wrought iron, like garden furniture. When spirits show, because a lot of my colleagues do this, as above, so below. No, what they're doing is spirits are creating a point of reference that you and I can understand. So what she's transmitting to me is, I got all these red roses in the background, beautiful white wrought iron garden set. And this may be the point of reference where you guys contact her in the dream state. You see, spirits are not sitting around in a cafe in Paris drinking coffee or eating salami sandwiches. You know, and a lot of mediums say that. They're misinterpreting. We're dealing with immortal living beings, what I call the electromagnetic soul. Spirits are pure electromagnetic energy. We all are. They're just vibrating at a higher frequency. They're zipping around at light speed, and they're intertwined with the collective consciousness. And we can't even begin to comprehend where they are or what they're doing. So when they communicate with us, they create these things we can relate to. So you now know that, and she revealed that her favorite flower was the red rose, and that each of you may have a dream, and it may not be on the same night. It could be, you know, even weeks apart or longer, or maybe the same night, where she's going to meet you in a place very similar to that. So that's going to be interesting. If that pops up, please let me know. Okay. Well, what it is, the thing about your daughter is she knows you get the feathers. She knows you get the obvious signs. She's moving now to a more complex form of communication with you because both of you, she said, are ready for that. Okay. She said, you don't need to find pennies. You don't need any more feathers. She goes, now we're going to start talking turkey. Who doesn't like to eat turkey? She's talking about, ooh, turkey, ooh, turkey,
Look at me, I'm disappearing.
Who doesn't like turkey?
We love turkey.
No, we
had
turkey.
too much turkey, but we love turkey.
Interesting. All right, so I'm going to leave that with you guys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hold
My
on.
daughter
Go
doesn't
ahead,
like
Mara.
turkey. Okay, now I'm just finding out that my daughter doesn't like turkey, the one that's sitting next to me. Yeah.
Okay, now that
We didn't know that.
But now you do, and that is a verifiable fact following the message. You see how that works? When I figured that out about 10 years ago, I was talking to spirits and I go, why do you give me these profound messages and you throw this thing out of left field? And they said, Mark, that's how we're validating it for you. And then I realized, because they know I want a validation. So you guys are going to have that dream. Your daughter is going to start communicating with you on a more sophisticated level because you're ready for it. And to validate that, she said, turkey, and her sister, your other daughter, does not like turkey. Bada bing, bada turkey.
We learned something new today.
God bless you guys. All right, take care. Oh, it's my pleasure.
And that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, Mark, this is so much fun to watch you. So we have time to do another one if you'd like to.
I'm just getting warmed up. Okay.
Yeah, we'll stay.
Yeah, we'll stay.
Okay, male energy coming through. He was an adult. He could have easily have been late 20s, early 30s. Could have been maybe somewhere in his 30s. And I'm getting a draining sensation throughout my body. And what a draining sensation indicates, ow, and I'm getting lumps in my head. The draining sensation indicates an illness that takes you down a step at a time. This could be cancer. This could be HIV. It's one of those draining, but the pains, the lumps I'm getting in my head feel like I'm getting one in the back, two in the back of my head, a couple in my forehead, but they're in the brain. I'm also getting swollen lymph glands. It feels to me getting nausea. Nausea is also one of my cancer indicators. I feel that this gentleman, he put up a good fight, but this took him down, flick at a time. Okay. Is there anyone that had an adult son, feels like he died from a long protracted illness, most possibly cancer? And hold on, Wilma, 6-year cancer process. Yeah, let's bring up Wilma.
Okay.
So we're going to ask you to unmute.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Wilma. Can you unmute, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Wilma, it feels like your son, if this is your son, it feels like he put up one heck of a fight.
Yes.
Okay. He is showing me, and I do not say this lightly, he is showing me an image of the Archangel Michael. And the Archangel Michael can mean a lot of things. It could be a trigger for a name like Michael or Mitchell. It could be a trigger for a name that starts with AN, like, my Anthony or Andrew or Angelo, like that. But this could also indicate people who like angels, images of angels, something like that. Is there anything about angels or the name Michael? It could also be a place like St. Michael, something like that. But he's showing me the image of the Archangel Michael.
He has his stepbrother, Michael.
His stepbrother's Michael. Let's go with that one. Okay. And hold on. He talks about you writing. All right. Now I'm a writer, so I'm always writing, but you're writing more than just little thank you notes. You're writing. What's going on with your writing?
I part of my career was writing. Perfect.
Okay. Now, I'm trying not to laugh, but he's putting jack-o'-lanterns in front of me. Pumpkins. This could mean something in the Scorpio timeframe. Why? Because Halloween is in the Scorpio timeframe. This could be something right around Halloween or a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event between roughly October 20th and November 20th. Births, deaths, anniversaries, or events. Jack-o'-lanterns could be a male J name like a Jack or a Jim. Anything there?
His name was Jeff.
Ooh, all right. I'm loving your son. Okay. And I'll tell you, if he was in this world, he's the type of guy I'd like to hang out and have a beer with. He's a real nice guy. He's like giving me the high five. And he said, Mom is one happening lady. Let me tell you. He in this world and from the other side, he just thinks like you are awesome. And he said that you sacrificed so much of yourself during he calls it his sojourn. He wants you to refer to his death as his sojourn into the light. He doesn't want you to look at it as his decline, fall, and death. He said, this was my sojourn into the light. And wow. This is interesting tonight because I'm getting spirits that are talking about the sophisticated communication level that they're getting with their parents. Were you there when he died?
Yes.
Did you feel or see other spirits? Because what I'm getting from him feels like what's called a shared death experience or a deathbed, also a deathbed vision. That as he was transitioning, I'm feeling that there were other spirits there, because there is, and I'm getting the sense, the way he's talking about you, that you may have felt them. Does this make any sense to you?
There were a lot of other people in the room physically.
I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the spirits, yeah.
He talked about seeing his grandmother, his late grandmother.
There we go. That is what is known as a deathbed vision. And what's happening, and this is one of the things I write about in Afterlife Frequency, is when a person is transitioning, I refer to the soul as the electromagnetic soul because it's pure energy. And as the EMS is getting ready to leave the brain, the host, the computer hard drive, its frequency begins to expand, and it can interface with the EMS of a spirit, which is what they are. And that's why people will start saying, oh, I see my grandmother, because she was the one that was there to greet him. Now, that spirit, she's with him, and she keeps giving me purple flowers that look like tulips. Okay. All right. Does that make sense to you in any way?
She had purple everything.
Aha.
That was my mother.
Yeah. Verifiable fact following
Absolutely.
The message. So your mom greeted your son into the light, but they keep showing me tulips and windmills. Did anybody ever go to the Netherlands, or is there Dutch heritage, or is there something about a windmill of any sort? It could even be like, hey, we're playing putt-putt golf, and there was a windmill, but they keep showing me windmills.
I don't know.
Hold on, hold on. If I say windmill, don't worry about how it applies to your son or your mom. If I say windmill, what comes to mind for you? Don't think, feel.
Holland.
Holland, okay. Ever been there?
No. Holland, Michigan.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Now, what is about Holland, Michigan?
It's all tulips and windmills.
And do you live near there?
About two hours from there.
Okay, now let's apply this to your son and to your mom. How would that make sense to them? And isn't it interesting that your mom came in with a purple tulip?
Oh,
Now they're
perfect.
giving us the windmill. So we're putting the pieces of the puzzle. See, with spirit communication, this is not Alexa. Okay, we're like, Alexa, tell us this. This is, we're communicating with another dimension, and they're sending these waves of electromagnetic frequency going into my brain. And each piece of information that comes through is like the piece of a puzzle. So we're putting this together. So what is it that is special about Holland, Michigan for you?
I have vacationed there often, there and a nearby community, Saugatuck, which is right next door to Holland.
Perfect. Perfect. That's kind of your happy place, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
Wow.
your mother and your son are bringing up a happy place for you. So what are they saying to you is they want you to feel that happiness again. Okay. And what I have found, and I think everybody here probably has, is nature is very healing. You know, because we're around other people and electronic devices and all that frequency affects us. And when you go into nature, there's a different frequency, and it's a healing frequency, and it's a centering frequency. So I think what they're not, I don't think this, they're telling me is when you want to commune with them, that's where you go, is nature. It doesn't mean you have to drive to Holland, Michigan, but you need to be somewhere where there's flowers, because obviously you have a picture of flowers behind you. Your mom came in with purple tulips. Color and purple and is very important, not just to them, but also to you. Hey, what's with you and daffodils? They're talking about daffodils, beautiful yellow daffodils, or the color yellow. Hold on, before we no, I'm getting yellow daffodils.
Again, that would relate more to my mother. She just loved flowers of all kinds.
Okay, so is your dad in spirit?
Spirit, yeah.
What was he having a lot of problems with his teeth prior to passing? I feel like my eye teeth are killing me. Okay, problems with teeth could be maybe he had dentures, maybe he had a history of extensive dental work. Okay, because also my teeth start to hurt, so it could be any of the above.
Could be.
Why do you say that?
He was in a lot of pain in a lot of places before his death.
Okay, well, he's specifically talking about his teeth, and he keeps talking about the electrical anomalies. The electrical anomalies. Do you have any weird electrical anomalies?
Almost every day.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
All of them are doing it, but your dad's kind of like, he's the architect of this one. He said, because he always liked commanding everyone's attention. And so your dad is sending the electrical anomalies along with your son and with your mom, okay? And they're leaving me with an emerald. Emeralds are the birthstone for the month of May. This could be a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event within the month of May. It can also be a variation on the name Mary, because May is dedicated to Mary, the mother of Jesus. So it could be a Mary, Marilyn, Margaret, Marianne, or a piece of jewelry of significance with emeralds in it, or something about the month of May, which could be connected to you in any way, births, deaths, anniversaries, or events.
My grandmother was Mary.
There's one.
My mother's mother.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's birthday's in May.
2. Okay. Your sister, as in their daughter, right? And
Their
is
daughter,
your sister
who is
here?
still here.
Who's still here? Okay. Tires. What's going on with the tires on your car?
I'm not sure.
Let's get our tires checked. So I'm hearing there may be a prayer, or maybe your sister needs to get her tires checked.
Okay.
Okay. Look, I don't fling out random car parts hoping to
Okay.
get a hit. Okay. They bring these things up specifically. And who's in education or was in education?
Everybody.
And there's your verifiable fact following the message. You get your tires checked and you call your sister and get her tires checked. And Grandma Mary says, you do what we say.
And
Okay. Because they're gonna get their message through to you. And your son said, I feel fine, Mom. You've wondered, I feel fine. And I'll leave that with you.
thank you.
It's my
Thank
pleasure. God bless you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'd like
Beautiful.
to let everybody know that this Saturday, December 9th, I'm doing an online light circle, which is limited to 6 people so that everybody gets a connection with their loved ones in spirit. And you can find out about, I think there's only 2 tickets left. And if you go to my website, afterlifefrequency.com, and also, when you go to my website, you can see how to get an online subscription or an actual hard copy of Best Holistic Life magazine. I write for them every month, and my article for December is entitled The Miracle of the Nativity and the Psychic Saint. And I'll give you a bit of a spoiler alert. It involves a very significant event that happened exactly 800 years ago this Christmas Eve. And I'll leave that with you.
Oh, how interesting. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So thank you. And this has been absolutely amazing, just as always. I'm trying to spell psychic, which is crazy because you would think that I would know how any be able to how
It always comes up physic, which is a whole nother
Yes.
thing.
kind of crazy
Wow.
that it's taking me so long. I'm thinking I've written this word probably more than any other word in my life in the past few years. But anyway, I am just so appreciative to both you and Rocky. We are so excited about having you at the conference, and we will soon be advertising our conference as well, which is going to be really amazing. And the fact that you guys were there last time just made the conference. It was just so wonderful. So thank you. And we always ask, so we have 2 more minutes. Maybe you could just sum it up and tell everyone why you think that even though you gave these messages to these parents, every single child was here tonight.
Yeah, they are. And part of collective consciousness communication, even if you did not receive an individualized reading, if something that came through from somebody else tugs at your heartstrings or resonates with you, that is part of collective consciousness communication. See, spirit communication is not just one spirit for one person. I'm dealing with an entire array of people. So each spirit that came through, think of all the spirits as a giant chorus, and the individual spirits that were connecting with me were temporarily the lead singer of the chorus. So while I may have given a message to Mara or to Jennifer, if it resonated with other people, that's because they piggyback on top of that a whole array of messages. I know that sounds complex, but I explain it in I think, an easy to understand fashion in the Afterlife Frequency, which is the ideal holiday gift for somebody who is coping with loss. So once again, if you have not, did not receive an individualized reading, but something came through that touched you, that's the synergy of these group sessions. And if we had more time, I would explain it in greater detail. But for all of you, please accept my deepest sympathy. And I know Rocky as well joins me on that, for everything that you're going through. No parent should ever lose a child. Unfortunately, we are living in the material world. You know, people always want to know, are my spirits alone? Are they happy? Oh gosh, they are totally happy. They're pure energy. They're immortal. They move at the speed of light. Energy doesn't get old, sick, tired, or die. They're fine. We're the ones that are miserable and unhappy, because that's part of why we come into this world, because we can experience limited a limited existence in things that we can't when we're in an infinite state. Now, by saying that, I'm not encouraging anyone to cut their life short in this world, because good, bad, or indifferent, we are here for a specific allotted amount of time. And there's a reason we go through everything that we go through. And with that, I want everyone to go through this holiday season, have a blessed holiday season. And I'm an interfaith medium, so I'm wishing everyone a Merry Ramahana Badi Dwali Kwanzmas. God bless and good night.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank
Okay,
you, Mark.
before we go,
Thank you.
to make
Thank you.
sure, because I know that this is something that I've texted everyone about in the chat box. But if you did get a reading tonight, please send me something for the newsletter. It means so much to all the other parents, but it also means a lot to our wonderful presenters. So to Mark as well, to be able to hear the validations that he was talking about. And not only that, I just got one today. It's kind of funny about supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So I'll have
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, that was a Helping Parents Heal member. Oh my gosh. Real quick, I was doing a reading for the Shining Light parent, and all of a sudden, I said, I know this is gonna sound really weird, but supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And there's this pause, and I hear, oh my God, which is always a great thing for a medium to hear. She goes, I'm having this cottage built. And she goes, I'm kind of short. And they said that, oh, you're going to need Mary Poppins to fit in here. And so she said, I started singing to the workmen yesterday, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And I'm like, and so her child brought that song through to me. And let me tell you, I don't fling out supercalifragilisticexpialidocious hoping it's going to make sense. And what was so funny is she sent me an email, and that's all it said, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, to which I replied, which sounds something quite atrocious, which is, the line of the song. But anyway,
Right.
That's what happened. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Thank
Very
all.
Very cool.
And I have pictures, and I'm excited about putting it into the newsletter. But as I say, every time we have a story from parents, it means so much, not just to us, but to the parents who are present on the meeting, and also to our presenters. So thank you all. And thank you, Mark, and thank you, Rocky.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Please
Wonderful.
God bless you guys.
and
Thank
share and
you.
say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
God bless.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mark.
much, Mark.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.